morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is that you're listening to this. My name is Yvette Wanzu, and welcome back to Walking with Wanzu. I hope that you're well. I hope you're still keeping safe. I know the restrictions have been lifted for those of you who live and stay and dwell in Kenya. Things have finally resumed normalcy. The curfew has been lifted, people are going out and about, some organizations are asking their employees to come back into the office, and it's a time where people are readjusting and trying to get back some sense of normalcy. So even as we do that, I hope that you're keeping safe. Those of you who are vaccinated, yay. I'm yet to get my own, but it's something that I'm really considering doing, hopefully before the end of the month. So that's probably one of the things that I need to do in November. Yeah, but other than that, I hope you're all doing really well. I know in the previous episode we were talking and hearts were a bit heavy and tears were flowing and feelings were just, there was an outpour of so many raw and very sad emotions. But that's just life. It's never constant. So some days we're sad, some days we're happy, some days we're excited, but we just take it all in stride because that's what life is. And once you understand that, then you're able to embrace and go through any situation. So how am I? I'm well. I have been, I have consciously been trying to remove myself from that situation. So I just chose to put my focus on other things, taking care of my child, applying for work and doing other jobs, even as I apply for a long-term employment solution, just doing other things really, because I think that's the only way you get over heartache. It's by immersing yourself in other things and things that matter and that edify your soul, and also things that give you joy. And so I have just purposed to do just that, and it's been working. I'm so much better. I'm in a much better place. I'm glad and I'm happy to say that I am not bitter. I am not, just like any negative emotions that would come out of heartache. I thank God. I have really gone past it. Disappointed that things didn't work out. I think that's normal. It's normal to be disappointed, but I have genuinely moved on, and I have released the other person as well. So from my end, it's really nothing but love and good vibes, and just just going on with life. Yeah, so I wanted us to talk about something today that has been heavy on my mind over the last 1 week, and I think it's about time we just delved into it. I know this is something that we talk about a lot, but we haven't, delved into it here at Walking with Wanzu. And now that Wanzu is walking and going through it, be sure to know that we will discuss it. And the issue revolves around forgiveness. Just forgiveness generally. Forgiveness, understanding, conflict resolution. That's something that has been heavy on my mind. And I really want us to unpack certain issues. So of course I'll be giving examples from my journey and from my work. And feel free, even as you give me feedback on these episodes, to write down some of the experiences that you've had. Feel free to email me, to DM me on Instagram. I'm Yvette Wanzu on Instagram. And let's talk and let's have, let's have a chatty conversation and let's build one another. Forgiveness is something that I don't do very well. It is something that if I was a dictionary, it is a word that people would really struggle to find. And over time, I've just learned, and I know we get, we are told in church, if you're a Christian, you know how it is when they preach about forgiveness and the virtue of forgiveness and the gift that is forgiveness. And then, of course, when you get older and you start indulging into self-help books, then you start hearing, forgiveness is good, forgiveness is that. Then, of course, for me, because I really love people who just, their lives were centered around forgiveness and peace and reconciliation, then I tend to borrow a lot from their lives and their experiences and their teachings. So someone who, of course, was a huge example that forgiveness can go a long way was Nelson Mandela. God rest his soul in peace. The other person was Maya Angelou, the other person, I would say, I'm not quite sure how to pinpoint from her example, but she is also a good example of just how harmony and peace and selfless love can be a good thing, was Mother Teresa. Just a few, to mention. And as I draw examples, maybe we would choose to focus a bit on Nelson Mandela and seeing how he chose to forgive the people who gave him a hard time, because South Africa was colonized at the time and apartheid was a big issue. And I don't think, and I know that we have all had our fair share of how during colonizations we suffered as Black people, but I think South Africans really had it rough, like really rough. And I mean, just the ability to be able to decide, even just how Mandela decided, okay, this is not right, I'm going to fight for it. And, and just go through the process and not just have people around him hurt, but even he himself, because of fighting for a cause that he was so passionate about and believed in, which was equality and all that. He really suffered. He lost his freedom, he was tortured. And even after all was said and done, and what he was fighting for came to pass, and he decided, you know what? When it was his time to now start clapping back and doing the most, he decided, you know what? Let's take a different route. Let's take forgiveness. Let's see if we let go of the wrongs that were, and we choose to come together, what can come out of it. And I haven't been, because I'm not that well traveled, but I think South Africa is one of the most it's one of the really well-developed countries in Africa. They're doing some good things. They're doing some good things. I think part of the things that they enjoy now in terms of development and all that. And don't get me wrong, I know South Africa, just like every other African country, is just struggling with the same problems we're out here struggling with, corruption and all that. But for a moment, let us just choose, for a slight moment, to focus on the positive. I think some of the developments and advancements that we see in South Africa now is as a result of Mandela just saying, you know what, let's try and let's go down, and let's take our anger and our pain down a notch, and let's look at the bigger picture. But also, let's free ourselves, because forgiveness can be such a burden. And I remember having a conversation with a lot of people throughout my lifetime about forgiveness. And one of my cousins, his name is Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Was telling me that we were having dinner, and it was he, my mom, and I. And he was telling me that, you know what unforgiveness looks like? It looks like you holding on to a chair, and you're holding on to a stool, and you have your umbrella as well, and you're trying to hold on to your handbag, but you're trying to text someone back, and all these things are within your grip. So literally, you're holding on to them with your hands, with your feet, with your everything. I mean, how tiring would it be to walk around and not have free hands to grab anything and to be able to do anything, simply because you're holding on to so much? And that at the time, that analogy made so much sense to me, because I have seen, even throughout my lifetime, I have seen myself mess up really good situations out of unforgiveness. Maybe you're carrying pain and anger from a previous heartbreak, and then now someone else tries to come into your life, and they mean well and they love you, but because you have sat down and you have decided, for instance, if you were dating a guy and you have decided men are trash, now every other man has to suffer because one person came and broke your heart, and you have chosen to carry that and go through with it. And the saddest part is sometimes, and I'm not excusing people who hurt people, but sometimes you could be here navigating through life carrying so much anger and pain and bitterness, and the other person is literally living their best lives. They they have so moved on. You're there waiting for karma to revenge for you. Karma is taking a whole lifetime, and you're losing out. Because I feel like when we're here on earth, our main agenda, make no mistake, is to live the best life you can for yourself. So what does the best life look like for you? Pursuing your dream job, going hard at your passion, taking up responsibility, owning up your titles, please appreciating your beauty, dressing your body, going out, exploring, having a relationship with whoever it is that you perceive the higher power to be, and just taking up your space, just living your life. And I guarantee you, when that is your main focus, you won't have time to carry unforgiveness or harbor resentment. You won't have time to even pause and look at what the next person is doing, because you're so busy filling your cup and living your life and doing you ward off bad energy so easily, you will be amazed. Another thing, it's a scientific fact, and I wish I had the facts written down before we had this discussion, is that bitterness can affect your health, like your health, like your physical health. And it has been said, research has it, word has it, that it suppresses your immune system. And I would know because I'm a very sensitive person, and I carry my heart on my sleeve. So I'm those people who, if my feelings are hurt, my appetite will shift, my energy will shift, and everyone around me will just have to suffer because this one thing happened and now my life is ruined. And so over time, I have been in situations where I was fighting with someone, and now it's 2021 November. Happy new month, by the way. And I'm here telling this person, in 2003, 9 a.m. on Wednesday, or in February, you told me I am ugly. Now I have decided to carry that and go on with it. And it can be a wound because words are hurting, but that's just them. That's a them issue. When I look at myself in the mirror, and it's something that I have learned to tell myself, is when someone tells me something hurtful, is I do a bit of introspection and I ask myself, is this really true? Is that really true? And I dare you to even sometimes say it out loud. Is that really true? And oftentimes it's not true. We are all so different. It is our uniqueness that makes us beautiful. Because best believe, unless of course you have a twin, no one in the universe looks like you. No one has a voice like yours. No one does things the way you do. No one thinks like you do. You're such a unique being. And so our beauty as human beings lies in our uniqueness. And I don't know who went ahead and started telling people that uniqueness is ugly, or that anything that is a bit, just slightly out of what quote unquote we like to call the ordinary is wrong, is not right. Now it's ugly. Now that's not the standard of beauty. No. So I've really gone off. But that's just to say that the greatest power that we have in terms of forgiveness is how we yourself, we choose to respond to situations. And sometimes some people will be sent your way to just awaken your demons, to just tell your demons, hi, today's a good day to show up and show out. But how you choose to respond to that power only lies with you. No one can take that away from you. And so I'm posing a challenge to you. I don't know who it is that has wronged you. It could be a parent, because we are in an age where we are all unpacking a lot of traumas, a lot of hurt, a lot of things, and we're all just trying to survive and cope and do life the best way we know how. And I don't know what you're carrying, and I don't know who wronged you. But all I can tell you is being angry and being bitter takes so much from you than it even does from your oppressor or from your offender or from whoever it is that wronged you. And I just want to pose a challenge to you to think of it, to think about it, marinate on it, sleep on it. Try both sides of the spectrum. Maybe wake up today and do I'm going to live today as if I'm not angry at the person challenge, and then wake up tomorrow and carry that anger challenge, and then tell me which one feels lighter to you, which one feels better to you. And more often than not, as much as we don't like to admit, when you choose to forgive, you're lighter, you're happier, you're better, and guess what? You're free. So please choose the route to forgive. Now, forgiveness isn't easy. I'm not going to sit here and act like you should just wake up tomorrow and you'll be seeing ponies and rainbows shooting in the air, and there'll be love hearts, and now we can all just kumbaya and do the things. No, life doesn't work like that. That's not real life. However, it's just good to create to just think within yourself, think, okay, what happened, how did that make me feel, process that, create a clear boundary, and then move on from it. Because the ability to just move on from situations honestly will save you so much struggle and hurt and worry and a lot more other things. And if you're coming from a situation where you feel you are wronged and the other person feels they're wronged, I'm here to tell you that no one has the right to dictate anyone's experience. So if you feel you were wronged, I'm sure you have your reasons, and they're really good reasons. I'm sure you feel some type of way, and your feelings are valid, and you're entitled to feel, and you're allowed to feel the way you feel. And no one can take away your story from you, because that is your experience. And they too have their own experience. Imagine they do. And they just feel some certain type of way, and they choose to walk away from the situation with whatever story they feel is theirs and whatever experience they had. And so even you have no right to judge their experience or take away from their experience, or tell them how they will narrate or relive that experience. That's not in your place. What is in your place is to work on you, to let go, create clear boundaries, and then move on. Because we are all humans. We're all spiritual beings on a human journey. So we are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to do things that oftentimes than not will rub people the wrong way. But always look at the bigger picture. No anger or forgiveness, no anger or unforgiveness or any ill feelings is worth your peace. There's a peace that comes with forgiveness. I have tried it. Last week I was heartbroken. I chose to let it go. I chose also to, and a friend of mine even sent me a podcast. And I tried to look at things from their perspective, and I tried to look at things from my perspective. And I know everybody has their own story and how they feel it is that whatever interaction I had with the person, I'm sure they also have their own version of how things went down. And that's okay. But what we are sure of is what we discussed and concluded. And that's just that. So even as I move forward, I personally do not move forward with any form of anger or bitterness or pain. I've had instances in the past in my childhood where things have been done and things have been said by different people. They could be friends, they could be family, and I have held on to it. And over time, even as I just process some of the things that that have made me angry and bitter over time, and I choose to let go slowly by slowly and forgive, I'm feeling lighter and lighter. I'm feeling happier and happier. And things are just way more easier. Even when I talk to God, I just feel like He's listening to me. So also, if you're a believer, just be real with God. Go up to Him and tell Him, Lord, I really want to forgive, but I don't know how to navigate this. I really need you to walk with me. And rest assured, He will. And so if you're going through a period where you've been hurt and you feel like the forgiveness is the farthest thing from your mind, I am sending you so much love and so many hugs. And I promise it gets better with time. Maybe the pain doesn't completely go away, but you learn to deal with it. And forgiveness will come. It will come, because time is a healer, and you will be amazed how a month, a week, a year from now, you'll be in a much, much better place. So I'm sending you lots of love and sunshine and hugs. And please know you're not alone. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye. Love and light.